Hello and welcome again to Club Spotter. And today I have the chance to talk with Jonas. Jonas, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Blondine. So my name is Jonas. I'm based in Belgium. So if you like beer, hit me up. I know a lot about beer, especially Belgian beers. I'm working in the HubSpot ecosystem for a while now. And in the last year, we mainly focused on Koalify, which is a HubSpot plugin to manage your duplicates more effectively. Before Koalify, I was a freelance consultant, mainly for B2B SaaS companies, setting up HubSpot or data infrastructure, so data warehouses and BI solutions. And before becoming a consultant, I was an operator at a B2B SaaS company, also a CRM company in Belgium, team leader. And I was responsible for data and operations in my last role. So also setting up Looker as a BI solution, Snowflake as a data warehouse, and HubSpot as our core go-to-market solution for our sales and marketing teams. Um, I switched, so I'm going backwards in time. So I switched during my career from like an internal operator to a consultant because I wanted to do like more different projects. And then when I was doing that, I wanted to build out a product, a niche product. So that's how we founded Qualify, as it was a problem I was seeing a lot in different companies like HubSpot duplicates and data quality in general, HubSpot data quality. We interviewed a couple of other HubSpot admins, and they confirmed that they were also running into duplicate issues. So that's how we started our MVP. We built out a small product and continued building and growing ever since. So we launched about a year ago in February of last year in the marketplace and have over 1,000 installs today. So had a pretty good year and very much looking forward to 2025 and helping HubSpot teams tackle their duplicates and data quality in general.
Quite a good resume.
Yeah. I went back in time, and then I went forward again. But yeah,
That what we want at Club Spotter. Okay, first of all, congrats, because you have to reach too many milestone in 2024.
you.
And today you decided to talk about, with no surprise, data quality and the importance of data quality.
Yeah.
First of all, why did you choose this subject? Even if we all know why, but can you explain a bit more?
Well, I've always like, as you learned from my background, I've worked a lot in data in general. I actually started in data analytics even before HubSpot or before doing revenue operations, let's say. And data at its core is so valuable, but it needs to be clean and needs to be qualitative before you can actually use it for anything. And that's the step that a lot of people are skipping. Like they want to see the reports, they want to see the insights, they want to improve the customer experience, they want to apply machine learning, but you can do all of that if you invest some time in data quality and if you invest some resources in data quality, because otherwise all of that is useless. So, and I think it's something that people tend to forget because it's also not the sexiest thing to do. The cool thing is to get the insights, do the machine learning, optimize your customer experience, and data quality is sometimes a hard job to keep your data clean. So that's why I think the topic is important.
Yeah, and I do agree. This topic is very important, and yeah, as you say, it's not sexy, and it's not the thing that we want to do, but we must.
Yeah, it needs to happen. It's like a necessary evil, and you just need to have some practices in place to make sure that your data is clean because it's coming from so many different sources. Yeah, but let's talk about more about that in a minute.
Yeah, and I would say, talking to many different sources, um, today we have too many sources of data. And for you, what are the criteria to select the best way to import data in HubSpot?
Yeah, it's a standard revenue operations answer, but it depends. It depends on the different organizations.
Yeah, of course.
But you see your data is coming like from all different sources. I think the most obvious ones are like form submissions on your website, You give people the opportunity to share their own information, so there's room for errors, typos, etc. Then you have your sales teams or your customer facing teams that are working in HubSpot. They need to add contacts or companies manually, and also room for manual error. Then if you do outbound or prospecting, you have or you purchase data through ZoomInfo or Apollo or whatever data source, you put external data into your system. Also there, that data can be outdated. It might create duplicates because sometimes you already have a record, but just with an older email address, for example, in your HubSpot account. So that's I'm following the funnel. So that's where wrong data is added. Then you run events, or you do any other actions, or you purchase lists. You have an import of CSV files or Excel files that you import into HubSpot. A very big reason for errors, because yeah, your lists are very often not that clean. Sometimes records already exist, but you don't have a unique identifier to avoid duplicates. So imports is a very big reason for data quality issues. Then later in the funnel, you can sync your platforms or your SaaS applications or your e-commerce software, whatever, into HubSpot. And then when an order is made or a profile is made or an account is made, you sync that data back to HubSpot. And there again, generally those database records are cleaner, but it's again an opportunity for errors and especially duplicates that don't match with what happened earlier in the funnel. And these are like top of mind for me as data sources or how you enter data, and where there's always room for error and data quality issues.
Okay, so for you, the criteria which is the more important is like to follow the funnel and see if there is no possibility to make duplicates during the funnel.
I think I was following the funnel just for my own
Yeah,
yeah mental
but
picture
it
of
could
like
be, but it could be
their
cool
rooms.
to like verify all the step on the funnel too.
It's a good exercise for yourself when you're managing your data quality in your HubSpot account on like walk through the funnel. Where are you entering data? How are you updating data? And where is the biggest room for error in your situation, in your use case? That would be definitely a good exercise.
Okay, and speaking to data, when you have all the data on your HubSpot, how could be the best way to use it to
Yeah,
to you?
yeah. So there like different reasons to have your data in HubSpot, but I think the main reason is to follow up correctly with your prospects, with your customers, that you store their information and that based on their information, you give them the right experience. So they're either treated as a prospect or as a customer based on their behavior, based on their intent. You do different things and you make sure that what you do is in line with their expectations. So for me, it's really about customer experience and making sure that you treat your prospects and your customers in the way that they deserve. And by having richer and more complete data, that experience will be better. If I only have, for example, Blandine, your first name and your email address, there's not much that I can do to
With that.
tailor your customer experience. I need a bit more information to know like, are you looking for certain things on our websites? Have you raised a ticket? Have you asked? Did you do a form submission? Are you subscribed to our newsletter? Have you opened our newsletter? Or are you a customer already? And if you're a customer, which products did you purchase? Like where are you in your journey? What is relevant to you, and how can I support you best? So that's like most important for me is like really the customer first, and then in addition, if you have that data, you can also start measuring things. You can measure how many Blandines you have, how many leads you have, where are they coming from, what are they doing exactly, and based on those data points, you can learn. So that's my data background. You can learn what works well, what doesn't work well, what should you do more, what should you do less, in order to invest your resources, so both time but also money, to get more business, because that's all what we want to do. That's also what HubSpot is saying. Like, we want to grow better, and we want to help you grow. That's what most businesses want to do. So that's how it's helping you as a business. First of all, improving your customer experience, and then giving you the insights to also grow better. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are the two.
definitely. And if you have any ideas of what is the goal of the analysis, then you can like build a, I don't know, on a white paper or something like a funnel to which informations are important to know if I want to know at the end this kind of information. And this is quite interesting because actually I had this discussion with Bastian, my co-founder, this morning,
Mhm.
because we were like trying to find a way to analyze something on HubSpot. And first, he told me like, okay, take your whiteboard and just try to figure out how you want to see the data and what you want to do with it. And I was
Mhm.
like, no, but it can't work with HubSpot. Okay. He tell me, imagine that you have a magic HubSpot and you can do whatever you want, and
Yeah,
just try to find the way that you want your data to appear at the
yeah.
end. And this is quite a good tips.
Yeah, that's a very good tip. Do not look at what you currently have, but what do you want to have? What do you want to know? And then you'll probably realize there's some gaps in our data. Our data is
Mhm.
not complete, or we're not tracking XYZ, so
Yeah.
there's no way to create that report, or only partially. So you start with that partial data, and then somewhere in the process, like, you go to your RevOps or to your operations, and you make small changes to your process to make sure that you capture that data point, and you capture that data point consistently.
Yeah, and that's definitely what we wanted to do with Bastian. But this is cool that we can like jump into this anecdote with you, because I just it just tell me that this morning, and I was like, yeah, you're right. If I made my own like process, I will see what's the difference between my process and the process which are on HubSpot. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is quite a good tips.
Yeah, and then you'll come into like the discussion. Okay, we might need that extra data point, and then it's always a trade-off. Okay, but you need to capture it, because like data is like, you need to capture somehow. Like, for example, attribution, like where they're coming from. Do you track it automatically using a tracking system? Do you ask it to your prospect? Do you ask it to your sales team to ask
Mhm.
it to your prospect? And then there are these different variations, and it's a balance. Like, we need it. We need it for all our records, but how do we ask it? How much effort will it cost our prospect or our sales team or our infrastructure to track it? And to make sure that we track it enough so the data is complete. And it's always a balance in like effort versus impact. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, less is more. Like with data quality as well, you're not going to be able to track 100 pieces of
definitely
information
not.
of your prospect, especially not in the beginning of the funnel. Maybe when they're a customer, you have richer profiles. Your data will never be 100% correct, 100% complete. It's really a decision on how much effort it will cost you and how much yeah, return you'll get on the extra effort of tracking and completing the data.
As you said, you're not gonna have a clean data at first, but first question, there is two question in one. But
Mhm.
how do you know that your data is not the best? You can use the whiteboard and try to find the gap between your process and the process which are already live.
Yeah,
But do you have other tips to identify that your data is it's not quality data
yeah,
actually, and need to be like you need to
yeah.
work on it?
Well, there are a few things that you can do to decide or to review if your data is correct. I think very often it's a matter of completeness. So you're tracking specific properties on a record, for example, on a contact or a company. And if some record, like for example, the source or The fact that they're a customer or still a prospect, that's something that I think you should have like almost 100% correct, because it's a very big difference in the
Yeah.
customer experience. Then the country or the language is also a
Hmm.
pretty obvious one if you're dealing with multiple regions, is that you at least get the country or the language correct, because otherwise you can't do your correct communication. So that's like from basic needs or from basic requirements and completeness of your data, you go to like a lower level, like attribution. Like you try to get attribution correct, but it's never going to be 100% correct. So you make an estimation of where are my prospects coming from. Um, and there are different degrees depending on the importance of the data points in data quality or data completeness, where you have 100% of the records that have 100% correctness, and then you have, I don't know, for some properties, only 50% of your records have that property populated, and you think it's only 50% correct. Like that's maybe too bad.
Hmm.
But there's certain degrees in data quality. I think some that's something that you need to realize, and then you need to track that. So there are some features in an operations hub in HubSpot that will show you completeness, for example, of some properties. But you could also track that in custom reports. So you could create reports in HubSpot to highlight which are records where certain data properties are missing. There is a common thing, a data quality dashboard or clean your room dashboard, where you highlight these are contacts, for example, that don't have a phone number or that don't have a country or don't have a language. You highlight them, you make sure that the contact owners are aware, and then you can distribute the work within the team so it's completed by, for example, the contact owners or the company owners. That's something I've applied very often in projects, and I see also other consultants or HubSpot admins doing to make sure that their data is complete. And it's if you're manually creating records, it's also a manual work to clean it up and complete the data.
Yeah, definitely. So, to you, to prevent bad data quality,
Yeah,
it's a work to made like step by step by analyzes all the from the super simple properties to the more complicated properties that you know that it's not going to be 100% qualified, because this is like, for example, lead source,
yeah,
so
yeah,
it's not going to be 100%, but you need to review the different properties step by step to see if there is a gap between what you want and what you have in terms of data.
yeah, exactly. And like to come back with a practical example is like for us for Koalify, we're also using HubSpot, and like what is 100% correct is the fact that someone is a customer or is not a customer, and what is close to correct but not 100% correct is if someone is a partner, so a HubSpot solution partner of not or not. So that's partially automated because we get the description of a company in HubSpot automatically. It's automatically enriched. And then based on those descriptions, you can already tell automatically if, for example, HubSpot is mentioned, that they're 99% sure HubSpot solution partner. So then we automatically label those as HubSpot solution partners. We have a form for HubSpot solution partners. So if someone comes in via the form, we can also automatically label them as HubSpot solution partners. But next to that, we also have people signing up, for example, for a trial
Mm.
of Koalify, but there's nowhere in the company description HubSpot partner. They didn't go to the form. So it might look like they're a regular prospect or a direct customer or a trial with their HubSpot account. And then it's really up to me to manually label, oh, wait, but in fact, it is a HubSpot partner. And that's because there's a manual interaction that's never 100% correct. It's also not that bad. I use a data point to subscribe them or to make sure that they get their partner information as well. So
Mhm.
some are missing that partner information now because they're probably not labeled correctly. And I think that's an example of a balance where like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
customer,
yeah.
non-customer
That's
needs to
super
go.
interesting.
And that's like, I think data completeness and correctness is one of the most important things. And then next to that, you have, of course, your duplicates, which we are dealing with as well. That's one of the other main data quality issues. that we see very often in HubSpot, also because that's our product. So yeah.
Yeah, I do think that's the reason why. But I've heard lots of HubSpot partner agencies talking to that also. So I do think that this is not just because it's your product; it's because there is need. Because in the HubSpot of your clients, there is too many mistakes and too many data, which is not good at all or not complete. We arrived at moments that I really like in the interview, which is the anecdote moment.
So I never been to inbound, even though
Okay,
I've been in the ecosystem for a couple of years. And last year, I actually got a free ticket as a community champion because I'm pretty active on LinkedIn and HubSpot community.
very
So I was
cool.
really hoping to go, but then somewhere in the beginning of the year as well, we got very great news that we were expecting a second baby daughter. And the baby daughter was exactly due on the days of inbound. So I tried to sell it to my real boss, my at home, but she didn't, yeah, allow me to go, which was a very good decision of her because, yeah, I
Definitely.
I could join like a magical moment and the birth of her second daughter, but therefore we missed inbound again. So, but we
Yeah. So,
didn't. Yeah,
so
we
this
did.
year you're gonna be there.
Yes, this year I was selected last week or 2 weeks ago as one on the customer advisory board of HubSpot, and
Yeah, yeah,
apparently,
yeah, I saw that.
a HubSpot ticket is included for. So I didn't know that. So I was very, very happy.
Super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I already shared it with my boss, like, and in the first week of September, which is the first week of school here in Belgium. So after the long holidays, the first week of school, and everything needs to fall in the rhythm again. Yeah, I
She's
am
gonna be
gone.
very angry at some point.
I'm gone for a week for inbounds in San Francisco. So yeah, so far so good. She's okay with it because I because I missed it last year.
Yeah,
Um, but
she's
that's
nice.
my yeah, but that's my yeah. She's very supportive. So that's my inbound anecdotes. I've never been, but it looks like this year, even though it's not perfect timing, I'm going to be able
You go.
to
You
join.
go.
Yeah,
That's cool. And we're going to see you there because we are also going to the inbound with Bastian and Julian. So,
nice, nice. Looking
do you
for
think that it's going to be quite a good week? Busy, but cool week.
yeah, yeah. Very much looking forward to that. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard
And
seen a
in
lot of
San
good things.
Francisco.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Never been to the west coast of the US as
I
well.
never been to the United States, so
In
that's
general, okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty like excited about spending a week or two in the United States, and especially in San Francisco in the West Coast. So
yeah.
it's cool.
Likewise, likewise. Hope it was a good hangout.
um, yeah, definitely. So you give us lots of advice, lots of tips, lots of way to do. Also, um, I would like you to make like three bullet points, like the three things that you want us to retain, that which is the more important for you.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I think first thing I'm going to repeat myself is it's all about your customer experience. Like the main reason I think to track data and complete data is to make sure that you can improve the customer experience. So you follow up relevant information at the right time. Um, then data quality is not the sexiest thing, but you need to do it in order to do sexy things like creating nice reports, doing machine learning, and improving your customer experience. So invest some time, some resources and efforts, and some of it will be manual. Will require you to update properties, will require you to merge duplicates just in order that you have like a 360 view. And those are the two topics that I wanted to share. So I leave one for you, Blantin. What have you learned?
The third idea will be don't go at the inbound and stay for stay for the birth of your daughter.
Yeah, that's
Because the
also a bit
inbound is
clever.
every year, and I do think that your child just have one birth, so
Yeah, yeah. But there's
that
every
was
year
a
there's
pretty
a,
good choice.
every day every year there's a birthday. It's not the same as a birth, but it's
It's not
similar.
the same.
No, so indeed, good lesson learned. Thank
A
you.
good
Um,
lesson there.
yeah,
Okay, do you have like one last word, the word that you choose to for the club spotted audience to retain, a word which is important for you or which describe the best this interview?
it was about data quality, but I'm going to say duplicates. Watch your duplicates.
Okay, that works too. Okay, duplicate. So avoid duplicates, and if you want to do that, you can use, of course, you must use
Yeah,
Qualify.
small product disclaimer. No, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, of course, feel free to reach out.
That's
Thank
good.
you very much, Jonas, for being here with me, and I hope to see you for another episode and Club
Yeah,
Spotter.
yeah. Thank you for having me, Blondine. It was a lot of fun. I hope we shared some insights, and looking forward to the next one already.
Definitely. Have a good day. Bye, Jonas.
You too. Bye bye.